guys. Welcome to the Southern Spotlight Show. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. Today we're going to cover the Tennessee Vols. We're going to cover the Florida Gators. And we're going to cover the Missouri and Texas A&M game. As you guys see, I don't have the greatest expression in my voice today because I'm still fighting through the pain of what happened on Saturday night. It was I, honestly, I'm really lost of words. I had a lot of words to say at the end of the game. And then I just went quiet. I went mute. But guess what? I have a lot to say now, guys. And the thing is, I just things to say about this Tennessee disaster of a performance. It starts off with the coaching. It starts with the coaching with Josh Heupel. I mean, what are we doing clock management wise? What are we doing? Because before Arkansas even got the touchdown, we had chances to just clock it. We're hiking the ball with 15 seconds left on the clock when we're already up by a point. That's already a problem. Okay. Then we can talk about not the block punt, roughing the punter. Tennessee fans, if we want to feel good about ourselves, you take away that penalty, we win the game. Right? We win the game because Arkansas's offense was awful. They couldn't do anything. Just like most of any offense that's going to play against us this year is not going to do much because Tennessee's defense is the best defense in the SEC by far. But let's get on the offense. Tennessee could not block a wheelchair just rolling down. They couldn't stop a wheelchair just rolling down the street. I mean, we could not stop anything. And the thing is, Nico got hit a lot. And I'll say it personally. He got rattled. But personally, guys, he's going to get rattled because he's a freshman. And it's going to happen.
Something happened to his brain because what happened on that last play, bro?
We're not going to get on that.
What happened on that last play?
We're not going to get on that play yet. We're not even going to get on that play yet because I can't explain it. Like I said, I lost words. And it was the most Tennessee fashion way to lose a game. Seriously. This is the worst. Like, that game, what that game really reminded me of, I thought we were going to win because I was like, oh, this is just Kentucky, Georgia. That's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, we're going to win this 14-13, and they're not going to score on us to close the game out because they couldn't do nothing. But with that being said, we gave them momentum by hitting, roughing the punter. So never in my life would I ever have said this, that Sam Pittman outcoached Josh Heupel. I've been clowning Sam Pittman for the last couple of weeks, and he has now proven that he can outcoach Josh Heupel. So Josh Heupel has a lot to adjust to because we play Florida coming up, and Florida has a winning record on us in the past 10 years. So this is just not good news for Tennessee. But as you guys know, Arkansas beat Tennessee 19-14. And, Arkansas just wanted it more. They really just wanted more. But the thing is, they're not even close to the level that Tennessee is. But it doesn't matter because Tennessee came out with the mindset that they already won. They came with that mindset. The offensive linemen just clearly weren't there. It looked like they just slept. It looked like their bodies were left in Knoxville before they came to Arkansas because they couldn't block anything, man. It was a pathetic start. You already knew the vibe when Tennessee first started the game with the long pass to Dante Thornton that got pulled back because of a flag. That was giving me Atlanta Falcon vibes because any big play that would happen, flag. And I thought I was watching the Falcons. But, I guess the Falcons just carry on with whatever I watch too. But, Tennessee was hit with some injuries with some wide receivers, and we're probably not going to have them against Florida. So that's another major loss. Squirrel White, Brew McCoy. These are your top 3 receivers on your roster not playing next week. But we just, we fell apart this game. And Josh Heupel, I mean, you have a 5-star quarterback. Let your quarterback loose. I know he's getting hit, but these screen routes that are being thrown over and over again, these runs on 3rd and 6, these run plays on 3rd and 11 has to go. It has to go. I don't know why we're being conservative. Arkansas was one of the worst. This is what makes it worse. This is what makes this prediction of me saying Tennessee was going to win by 17 points even worse. Arkansas was one of the worst rated defenses in the SEC and held Tennessee to 14 points. You want to know why? Because Josh Heupel cannot adjust to these mid blitzes that teams are starting to send against Tennessee. Oklahoma showed it, and they got it a little bit with it on Tennessee. They got a couple sacks. Now Arkansas is doing it. If you can't adjust to that, you're going to see Florida do it. You're going to see Alabama do it. You're going to see every single team do this until you can stop it. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do to fix it? Because you're going to see a lot of losses, and you're going to see a quarterback who is crazy talented get contained because he's not going to be able to throw the ball in less than 0.5 seconds. So the conservativeness has to go, and it came back to bite us. And guys, Tennessee fans, I'm really hurt about this, but we gotta have some hope. We're still in the top 10, and I'm gonna let Golden cover this because if I keep talking about this, it's just gonna get worse. So, Golden, what's your thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, this was classic. All right, this is a classic Tennessee game, classic trap game. I thought this honestly right before Arkansas. I honestly thought they were gonna win. But y'all did do a couple things right. That was holding Taylor Green to -5 rushing yards. Obviously, they didn't do too much. I mean, scored 19 points. Like you said, Tennessee's defense played amazing. But the offense, that was the big issue. I saw a trend that I've seen for years at Tennessee, and it has been the quarterback overthrowing receivers. There was one play. There was one play that I saw where y'all had a guy wide open. I think it was Thornton. It was one of your receivers. He was open down the field, and Nico just overthrew him by like 5 yards. It was an easy touchdown.
All right.
But that seems to be a trend out there with the Tennessee quarterbacks. But Taylor Green was actually able to get it in the air. He had 19 completions out of 27 attempts for 266 yards. So making Taylor Green look like a passing quarterback, I have some questions about that. Overall, honestly, I mean, it was kind of a boring game. I'm going to be honest. Very low scoring. If you like defense, maybe. But it really wasn't an amazing game. Yeah, they weren't able to run the ball like they had been on other teams. And honestly, I think it was just the SEC night game, the atmosphere, everything like that. It got to them. It was just a classic trap game. It's just simple as that. I wouldn't hang your head too much though, because Tennessee's still a great team. It was just an off night.
All right, I need you to be careful how you talk about Nico, man. Because here's the thing, that right there was a quarterback who got rattled. I'm not gonna lie, he got rattled. And when you get hit that much, you're gonna start incompleting passes. And I know that now that deep ball to Squirrel White would have changed the game. It was Squirrel. He just overthrew it really bad. And then he also missed a comeback route, which was wide open. He missed that route. That I personally believe that drive changed the whole part of the game because momentum switched to Arkansas. They thought they were playing good defense. You got a receiver who got beat over the top. He got burnt, by the way. Former corner for Tennessee to Nico Slaughter. You got burnt. Nico just overthrew it. Then we got a comeback route wide open. Nico misses it. That's just, it's unfortunate how it happens. He has been crazy accurate for Tennessee. And, it was just a Tennessee way to lose. But, guys, Alabama lost to Diego Pavia. Alabama lost to Diego Pavia.
I told him Diego Pavia was like that.
No. Missouri gets blasted by Texas A&M. We'll talk about that later. But Texas A&M may be good. Ole Miss already has their L. I mean, don't get me started on that game. We've already talked about that personally about that game. And Georgia has an L. Guys, the only undefeated team in the SEC is Texas, and they have a loss coming their way very soon. Very soon. They will not finish this year undefeated. No SEC team will not finish this year undefeated at all. So, with that being said, Tennessee fans, hang your head up, not down. Don't be like me because I'm still hurting. And I'm very nervous because I got to go to this Florida game, and I don't know how I feel about it. So, and I got to come back on this show to someone who's enjoying this moment right now. So, I need to feel some positivity. But the positivity is I've seen Georgia struggle against Kentucky. I've seen Alabama lose to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, bro. Vanderbilt. I've seen Ole Miss lose to Kentucky. And I've seen Georgia just play absolutely terrible against Alabama, but made a comeback. So it happens, guys. It happens, but we got to make adjustments because I think Josh Heupel's offense has been figured out. Guys, I said it. I think his offense has been figured out, and he has not adjusted. He has not adjusted. So go ahead and make adjustments. It's not that hard. You know what the adjustment is? Actually learn how to stop a mid blitz because you're going to get passers wide open. They just figured out how to blitz you, and you don't know how to pick it up. So, anyways, before I go into the next segment about Florida, I'm going to make a comment to Tennessee fans. Guys, trashing Nico is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I think you guys are absolutely insane for trashing him. To have the mindset to trash a 5-star quarterback who's making better passes than any quarterback for Tennessee in the past 15 years. I said he's made better passes than Hendon Hooker. He's making passes off his right shoulder. That's not something that Hendon Hooker was doing. The pass of Dante Thorne, you don't see players do that. Okay, so trashing players like trashing Nico is absolutely insane. And just to make it even worse for you guys that are trashing him, he's coming off his 5th game, 5th start this year, and it's his 2nd road game. Why are we going crazy about this? Why are we blasting him? Is it because he's getting paid $8 million? I mean, guys, he should not be getting blasted. He's a freshman. If this was Nico next year, okay, fine. That's reasonable. But these high expectations, I never had these expectations, guys. I never had this expectation. I've always said that Nico was going to struggle. And I said at the end of the year, he was going to start going off. I said he's going to go off. I said he's going to make crazy plays, but there's going to be times where he looks like a freshman. I've said this so many times. But with this being said, I mean, we have high expectations because he looked great against Chattanooga, Kent State, and NC State. I mean, he didn't even look great against NC State or Oklahoma. So where are the expectations coming from? If he goes out and balls against Florida, which I don't think he will, I think the run game's going to dominate. Then where do the expectations coming from? So give it some time. He's going to make good plays, but he's also going to make bad plays. But with that being said, since we just talked about Florida, let's get into this Florida segment. And, hey guys, I mean, there's one coach, guys, who did not get outcoached this weekend. And guess what? The script was flipped. It was Billy Napier and those Florida Gators, and they came out and did their thing and pulled out a 13-24 victory versus UCF. I mean, Golden, how are you feeling about those Gators, man? Looking at it, man, it looked like Graham Mertz had a decent, solid game. But truly, it's just a low-scoring game, I say. I thought I had Florida going 38, 17. I couldn't remember. I remember Florida scoring 38. I was clearly wrong about that, but still a solid win for the Gators. How are you feeling about those Gators coming up for this next week?
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. I'm happy, obviously, that my team won. I said that. I said on the last podcast, I'd rather be wrong and us win. But also at the same time, it means Billy would have been fired if we lost. So maybe it isn't so positive for us. But yeah, he did well this week. It was a really boring game. I'm just gonna be straight up. We dominated the second quarter. We scored 17 points. And I thought UCF was gonna be a better team. It looks like they're starting to fall off. They started the year really well. Graham Mertz, he was all right. I mean, he didn't really incomplete any passes though. He was 19-23, 179 yards with a touchdown. Lagway got very minimal play. He completed all of his passes though. Montrell got in the end zone. And Elijah Badger continues to impress as he had a touchdown. And then DK, our other wide receiver, just broke out for 88 yards. But really, there wasn't anyone who really stood out this game, to be honest. I think the person who did stand out was KJ Jefferson, but not for the right reasons. He's been playing really terrible, and I think that's one of the reasons that we won this game. Obviously, we also held RJ Harvey to only 75 yards. He did have a touchdown, But our defense as a collective played really well. There wasn't really a standout player. Shamar James did really well. Jordan Castile did really well. But really just the defense as a whole had, pretty much similar stats. And, we played well. We did what we needed to do, and we took the win at home, which, I mean, if we didn't, it really would have been gone. A night game in the swamp. I don't know why I went against us, but it's just the right thing to do when Billy's coaching. So I'm happy I was wrong and on the wrong side of this. But I expected more from UCF. I did. But really, in the grand scheme of things, this was a very boring game, and not one that I'd want to rewatch.
Hey, like you said, and like I said, KJ Jefferson's passing percentage has been awful this year, and he got exposed against Florida. Florida just boxed him. 12 for 22, 165 yards, and one interception. As a Tennessee fan, that concerns me because Florida's not a great defensive team. But if I see a stat line like this Saturday, I'm probably going to blow a gasket because it just doesn't make sense because Florida's defense is awful, same as Arkansas. And, I hate to just bring up Tennessee again, but if Florida clamps up Tennessee, my statement, as I said 5 minutes ago, Josh Heupel's offense has been exposed. So, figure it out, whatever you want to call it. But great win by Florida. As you said, Lagway didn't play as much. And another thing is DJ. I mean, I don't think he's going to play at all against Tennessee. I don't think they put him in an environment at all like that. I think it's a Graham Mertz type of game, which we'll get into that in a couple days. That Florida and Tennessee preview, as you guys will definitely be. We'll be looking forward to that one. That's gonna be a show right there.
I'm really excited for next year's game. I'll say that much.
Oh, because it's at home. Because it's at home. I'm more excited about next year than this year.
Yeah, for sure.
We got an experienced quarterback, but Montreal Johnson, 10 carries, 54 yards.
Like I said, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's been consistent forever.
Is he Alvin Kamara?
Hey, he's consistent. Alvin Kamara's consistent. They're both consistent.
Oh, man. But yeah, Graham Mertz percentage is great, as you said. 81.5 QBR. 19 for 23 is pretty solid. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of short throws. Which, I mean, last year we saw a lot of deep shots from Graham Mertz. And he mixed in some short throws too, but
he's solid. He's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, he's a solid quarterback. But great win. Guys, Billy's still alive. He's still there. We don't know if that's a positive or a negative thing. He does have a good recruiting class coming in, but the negative, I think, for him, for Florida fans, is that Billy's coming to Neyland. Billy's coming to Neyland. It was better for you guys just have an interim coach coming in Neyland. But, anything can happen in college football, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut until the next coming days. But before we get into the next segment, if you guys are watching right now, like and subscribe. If you guys are new, definitely subscribe because, we're going to talk college football. We're going to talk Atlanta sports, but especially on these college football days, we're going to bring in a lot of content and bring in a lot of jokes as well. And with that being said, we had game of the week, Texas A&M versus Missouri. I can't believe this is game of the week. We probably should have just done Tennessee and Arkansas. But, hey, we predicted this one right, man. We predicted this one right. We had Texas A&M winning, but we definitely did not predict the quarterback situation right at all. Connor Wegman looked like the next coming of Joe Montana versus Missouri. Missouri fans, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. I mean, Texas A&M wins this game 41-10. The only thing we can say about this is it was at Texas A&M, and this is what I did mention. I said that home field advantage is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. I thought it was going to be a Marcel Reed show. I thought their defense was going to pop off, and then Marcel Reed was going to have a couple, rushing TDs or whatever. But this was Wegman looking like Joe Montana, just dotting up these guys. 18 for 22, 276 passing yards. Goodness gracious. Eli Drinkwitz and those Tigers, they did not stand on business. Hey, y'all did not stand on business. And y'all got blown out. Y'all got blown out of the stadium. Top 10 team losing by 31. Just pathetic. I really thought Missouri was going to come out with a better show, and thought Luther Burden was going to have a coming out game because he deserved to be targeted a lot, but offense could not get going there. They could not get going. Just an impressive show by Wakeman, though, coming off an injury and dotting up Texas A&M. I mean, he didn't have any passing TDs, but that led to Le'Veon Moss having 12 carries for 138 yards and 3 TDs. Golden, what do you think about those Aggies, man? Because right now, I'm scared.
Yeah, I was gonna say Le'Veon. It's more like Le'Veon Bell, not Le'Veon Moss. But yeah, we didn't expect Connor Weigman. I have a friend who's very high on Connor Weigman, and even said that he was going to be a Heisman before the season started, and he looked like that today. Obviously, I think there was a turning point in this game, and it's when Luther Burden had a huge touchdown that got called back. But Mizzou's fraudulent. Let's just be straight up. Mizzou is not a top 10 team. Get them up out of there. I'm very excited to see where Texas A&M falls this week in the rankings. Yeah, they played out of their minds. I don't think they could have played any better than that. And yeah, they stood on business. This is the first time we've seen an Aggie team, like you said, like start out really well. 5-1 is not something you usually see from them. They're going to probably be ranked almost in the top 10 this coming week, considering all the teams that did lose in the top 10. It was a crazy week in college football this week.
They got Texas A&M at 15.
At 15, yeah. See, so yeah, it was a crazy week. And I just want to say something about the college football rankings. Penn State at 4 is atrocious. They are going to lose. They're going to lose to USC this week, and everyone's going to see how fraudulent they are, just like Missouri was. Missouri should never be top 10 after Vanderbilt. Yeah, Vanderbilt won, but still. Missouri after Boston College, all that. They're not a top 10 team. They have one good player. They have one good player on their team. And yeah, boot them up out of there. They'll be out of the rankings in no time. They'll probably lose another game soon. I don't know their schedule, but they're fraudulent. And Texas A&M showed that, they're a better team than they usually are this year.
Texas A&M. My prediction by the end of the year. Never thought I would say this because Jimbo could not do this. Texas A&M is going to finish the year 10-2. Their schedule just says it. If we pull up the schedule for Texas A&M right now, they have Mississippi State, LSU at home, South Carolina. I'm already seeing 3 wins in a row. New Mexico State, 4 in a row. Auburn at Auburn, 5 in a row. And then they got Texas.
I'm going to say...
Are we saying 11-1 or 10-2?
I'm saying 9-3.
Losing to who?
9-3. I'm not going to get too hyped over them yet.
Are you still not a believer? Still not a believer?
I'm not fully a believer. They don't have a set quarterback yet. Connor Weigman just had a really good game. We don't know that he's going to do that every game, especially against SEC at SEC, other SEC opponents. He did it at home. But I don't know if we can see that every game from him. But yeah, they're good this year. I wouldn't say 10-2 yet. I'm going to say 9-3, but I'll have to see how they play on the road.
I think Texas A&M, having Texas at home, is a scary game for Texas. I mean, I've already had Texas losing 1 game, but now I had Texas already losing 1 game, right? And I had them losing to Georgia. I had them losing to Georgia. I had Georgia going to Texas, beating. I had Georgia beating Texas at Texas. Now, the way Texas A&M looks, and you got to go to Texas A&M, and you don't think Texas A&M is not going to welcome Texas to the SEC in their first year? Guys, that is a rivalry game that we're going to be seeing for years. And I think that's a very dangerous game for Texas. And that's the last game of the season for Texas and Texas A&M. So, I mean,
I like the logic of welcoming Texas to the SEC because I don't think they're going to go undefeated either. I think that they're going to
I
have to
don't,
lose.
I don't think they are. And another thing that just puts me on the topic because you bring up Penn State, and we're getting on another topic. And
Overrated.
truly, I just don't see any team this year that has shown that they are the best team in the nation. Like they're just going to run through whoever they play. And I think this is kind of exciting because we see this in college basketball a lot. A lot of teams that look like they're dominant and they just fall apart and lose to a team they shouldn't have lost to. And honestly, we're going to see that out of Texas. Texas is not going to lose to a team that they shouldn't have lost to because Georgia's a good team, and I think Texas A&M is a good team. That's my 2 losses for them. But Ohio State, I never have believed in them. They're going to fall apart no matter if it's in the playoffs or whatever. They're going to fall apart soon.
I'm on Ohio State this year.
You said what?
I'm on Ohio State this year. I think they're the team that's standing out now.
You think Ohio? But they haven't played nobody.
They just played Iowa. They beat the crap out of Iowa.
Tennessee beat Iowa in Nico's first start. That's what I don't believe.
Different team, different circumstances.
No, bro. I've never believed in Ohio State. And Oregon, don't believe in them. Don't believe in them. Penn State, don't believe in it. Like, we're looking at a lot of teams that have not shown anything. Not really have not shown anything at all. And the thing is, we've already seen Miami's undefeated. We've already talked about them. They shouldn't even be even in the conversation after that Cal performance. They shouldn't even be in the conversation. And we look at Tennessee. And the thing, like, Ole Miss, okay? Like, they lose to Kentucky and they come out and play a great game next week versus South Carolina. Like, you don't know. Every single week, you really don't know what team you're going to face. And that just makes it very exciting. And the SEC is so dangerous. I think it's going to be an SEC team that wins it all this year. That's my opinion. But I can't name you which one. I really can't. I can't name you which one. What Alabama team are we going to see? What Georgia team are we going to see? What Tennessee team are we going to see? I'll put Tennessee out there. And what Ole Miss team are we going to see? Those are the 4 in Texas. What 5 of those SEC teams are we going to see week by week? Because truly, it's just been very confusing. But guys, you let us know what you feel is going to be projected in the 12-team playoffs. Because truly, I can't tell you right now. After the way Tennessee has looked, I can't tell you the way Ole Miss has looked. I can't tell you after Alabama and Georgia have looked. So you guys give us your prediction on the outcome of that. Let us know as well what you think Texas A&M's record is going to be by the end of the year. Because right now, guys, I'm a believer. This guy down here, he is not a believer. So personally, I can't tell you guys whether or not if Texas A&M is a believer or not because he's not on my side. And it's going to be like that for the rest of the week because we're going to clash. And, it is what it is because Rocky Top's going to roll and Ford is going to go down anyway. So anyways, you guys let us know. Give us your prediction on that as well. Also, give us your opinion on Florida's outcome about UCF and Florida because, Billy's still alive. And, we need to definitely know how you guys feel about Florida coming up this upcoming week versus Tennessee. And lastly, give us your opinion on them Vols. What do they need to do better coming up against this week against Florida? And what do they need to do better in general? Because after a pathetic performance like that, let us know what you guys feel like because I'm in pain. Show me something in the comments because I need to start feeling better and I'm really hurt right now. So you guys let us know. And thank you guys for watching the Solar Spotlight Show. And we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.